What's up, everyone? I am in between clients right now, and I just thought I would do a quick, hopefully, this will be quick video. And I know it's been a little minute since I've posted any content on my channel for the Minister of Beauty. It's been a crazy year for most people. It's been a crazy 2020 and 2021 for a lot of people that I know, and I am not immune. I've been dealing with a number of different issues in my personal life and my business life, and I'm just honestly blessed and grateful that one, I am still alive. I am not complaining because there have been so many people that have unfortunately lost their lives, lost loved ones, friends, whatever, due to all of the crazy situations that are going on in the world right now and in the country that I'm in the US. And, if you're listening in another part of the world, I appreciate you. I just wanted to do a quick video. And honestly, I don't really have a topic. I speak about so many things when I'm speaking with clients and things like that. And sometimes I think about some of the discussions that we've had, and I will consider whether I should do a video about it or not. And then there are other times when I've just been dealing with a lot of things, and it's like I don't really know if I should talk about these things, because I do appreciate people who are transparent and they share their personal issues, personal ups, downs, personal setbacks, struggles, personal successes, business struggles, business successes. I appreciate all of it. But I do believe that there is a fine line when it comes to being vulnerable and being honest, and then just exposing too much. And I'm one of those people. I often say that I'm more like a diary than an open book. And it's not that I'm hiding anything, just being someone who God made me the way that I am. I'm an introvert. I spoke with someone, a friend the other day, and I was saying, I've thought about doing live videos, but honestly, it's just not my wheelhouse. I'm not comfortable doing live videos, and it's not because I'm afraid of hitting the button and going live and doing a video. It's just not what I'm comfortable doing. And I am not comfortable. I don't think I would ever be comfortable being a stripper. So I can't force myself to do something that I'm not comfortable doing. That's just not what I'm comfortable doing. So I'm not going to do it. So I would rather just make a video and post it. And if anyone is interested and they comment, I appreciate it, versus me going live and hoping someone joins. And then if people do, I'm looking at the names and hoping I don't miss anyone if someone leaves a comment while I'm live or whatever. Like, it's just too much. And I sometimes get flustered and I may lose my thoughts. But I have so much that I want to share, not just in this video, but just in general. I have a lot of content that I have not posted yet. I have a lot of content that I have listed that I need to create that I just haven't done yet, because to be quite honest with you, I have just been in a state of burnout. I have been in the industry of being a business owner, and more specifically in the beauty industry, for 13 years now. And I am so thankful. I'm thankful, one, that I can say 13 years later that I've been doing this long. And it has not been an easy road. Anyone that tells you that it is easy is lying. Business alone is not easy, but being in an industry where there are men and women, there are gays and straights and transgenders and all these other things, whatever, it's people. When you're dealing with people, you're going to deal with a lot of bull crap, period. And I have dealt with so much in the past several years with people where I literally felt like it's like, what, am I being attacked? Is this like spiritual? And I'll be honest, I do believe that a lot of it is. I believe, as a believer in God, as one who does believe in Jesus, I do. Those are just my beliefs. I believe that everything manifests in the spirit realm before it is in the natural realm. And people have their lives, no matter how long or short it may be. And then I just don't believe that it's over once we are done on the side. That's just a part of our existence. But I do believe in spiritual attacks. And I tell you, when I tell you I've been dealing with a lot when it comes to people in the past few years, I would say I've dealt with a lot when it comes to people in my business and just dealing with so many different people. I've worked with thousands of women as clients, and I've dealt with, I would say, tens, if not a little bit more, thankfully not more than that, of women when it comes to having people be employed in my business. And people think it's easy. They think they can come in and steal from you, and they can go and take what you have given them or what they have gained while they were working in your business and go and steal it and take it and go someplace else with it. And it never works out in the end. Even if it may work out for 15 years for somebody, or they think it's working out, you reap what you sow. And I've been sabotaged in so many different ways by people that I've allowed to work in my business. And I've, been sabotaged by people that were family members. That's why I don't put a whole lot of weight, at least I don't, when it comes to family. I just believe people are people. And you can have people that were not in your bloodline that are more loving to you and more like family to you than somebody who you have the same parents, or you have, your parents are sisters and brothers, and so you're cousins, or whatever, or your parents or whatever. It's so deep when it comes to people. But I will say, for me, the word of God is one of the things that I don't know how people do it without being in business and dealing with people. I don't know how people do it without having a relationship, like a true relationship with God. Not just saying I know who God is, or I know about God, or I know the Bible or whatever. Because even though I have a relationship with God, I will never sit here and say that I know every scripture in the Bible and I know what every scripture means and all of that stuff. I am not going to sit here and lie to you. But I know for me that having a close personal relationship with God has definitely been what has kept me going in this life, for sure, but definitely in this industry and in my calling. I will say for me, it's more of a calling of being an employer versus just being a business owner and working for myself and not having anyone work in my business. Because dealing with people, I've learned a lot over the years, and I know that this calling that I have, the things that I've been going through, the Bible talks about you will go through tests and trials, and it is to make you, it is to strengthen you, it is for you to learn something. It's not to break you. It's not to make you second guess yourself. It's not to make you feel like you've done something wrong. Yes, indeed, there are people that do things in life, and what you put out, you get back in return. That is for sure. That is definitely a real thing. But there are people like you, like myself, who may have experienced some really hard trials in your life, and you may be thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I do to cause this? What did I do to cause this person to do this to me or to do that to me? If you're thinking that way, you're thinking the right way. Because there are some people that are so arrogant, they just say, I know I didn't do anything to deserve this. And yeah, you may have. But when you're questioning if you've done the right thing, you're considering the people that you've helped, you're not regretting, because you shouldn't live in regret. You should just see every situation as an opportunity to grow from it and take the lessons that you can take from that situation, so that you do not go through those situations over and over again. But God has a way of teaching you things through hard trials and struggles. And no, it may not feel good. It may not even look good. To some people, they may look at you and say, what did she do, or what did he do? Because they're going through so much stuff. But we know how diamonds are made. We hear it all the time. We know the truth. Diamonds, one of the most precious stones on the planet, but it is made in the fire. It is made through pressure. You are being made through the hard things that you are going through. So do not try to jump out of it before time. God will never allow you to go through more than you can take. He's not allowing you to go through stuff to break you or to destroy you. It is to help make you a better you. And it's not just for you, it's always to help somebody else. I've heard so many testimonies from amazing people that have really helped me to keep going. And that's one of the reasons why I'm even on this platform. I don't have that many subscribers. I don't get a lot of engagement or comments or whatever on my videos, but I'm doing it because I feel like there's a purpose for it. And even if just one person is seeing it and taking it in and appreciates it, whether they comment or not, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And if I consider myself and think about me, then I wouldn't do it. I would say, I don't want to put myself out there to be judged or to have people make negative comments about me or think whatever they're going to think about me. But I've learned that people are going to do that regardless, because you can be exceptionally good, bend over backwards for people to give them the best of you, give them, as much as you can of yourself or of your business or of your personal life or whatever, and it can still not be enough for them, and they would still want to trample over you and want more. Because I've experienced that as well. I've had former employees that made way more money than they would ever have made on their own, or working at some other company, pretty much giving them a space to not be a business owner, but treat it like you are a business owner without having all of the responsibilities and having everything on you to supply everything and to be responsible for everything and make sure everything is where, and we have everything we need because it's all on you and you have to spend all of the money for it. I take on all of the responsibilities, all of the repercussions that may be there, all of the chances that I have to take, all of the risks that I have to, take in order to do what I'm doing, to give people opportunities and chances to grow and to be, a part of a team. There is no I in team, but some people, they feel that what you're giving, I appreciate it, but now I want more, and they get a big head about themselves, and then they decide to, do other things and try it, and it may work for a little while or it may never work, but in the end, ultimately, it doesn't work. I have been just tired with all of the things that have been going on in the world. I am a wife. I am a mother, not of little kids or even kids, because I only have one child, but I am a mother of an adult who is a male who's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. So to be someone who is successful, who has worked very hard and shown someone the examples of how to live, how to be, how to grow, how to be an adult, it's disappointing when you see that your child is not following in those footsteps. But most children, some do, but most children I've learned don't do that. Most children, they have to learn things the hard way, and they don't want to follow in your footsteps. They want to find their own way, or they have, unfortunately, the examples surrounding them, and they want to emulate those that they're close to and they feel connected to, people who they think are their friends that really aren't their friends. I'm not complaining, because I'm thankful that, my son may not be where I want him to be yet, but he's a whole lot of things that he's not, and I'm very grateful for that. So I try to focus on the positives and not on the things that are considered to be negative. But again, it can be draining, and it can be like a state of, oh my God, really again, or you haven't learned this yet, So you can feel like burnt out on the decisions that other people choose to make. And so for me, a lot of the burnout that I have been going through and going through an experience over the past few years has been primarily other people and the choices that other people make and the actions that other people choose to do that has in some way somehow affected my life. It's like, I never would have done that. I never would have said that. I never would have chose that. I never would have went to that place. I never would have picked that out. I never would have stolen, this or taken that or thought I was entitled to this or that or the other or whatever. The actions of other people has completely put me in a place of, at one moment, I'm not still there. I'm not there anymore. But at one moment, it put me in a place of, man, F everybody. Like, that's kind of how I felt, because it was like every time I was turning, it was another person doing something else that was just like a slap in the face or a knife in the back. And it's tiring. But I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that has gone through things like this, and I won't be the last. I'm not the first, and I definitely won't be the last, because we live in a world of entitlement and selfishness, and people want to go for theirs, and and forget about those that have helped them along the way. But I'm grateful and thankful that not everyone is that way. Dealing with the things in the family, dealing with the things in the business, when it comes to people and the choices and the decisions that they've made. The thing that has helped me to not completely crash and burn has been people as well. So as much as it has been hurtful things by the actions that other people have done and the choices that people have made that has affected my life in my business and in my personal life, it has been people as well, through, God putting them in my life, that has helped me to continue to move on. So as much as I may have had former employees that try to steal from my business, steal clients from my business, take from my business, and then think you're not going to find out about it, because I always do, and never me looking for it. It always comes to me. It's always brought to me. However God allows it to happen. And then I have to handle it in a business way. And then when I handle it in a business way, then I'm the bad guy. When you signed agreements saying that you would not steal from my business, but then when I find out that you did, and I'm addressing it in a legal manner, then I'm the bad guy and I'm a bitch or whatever. And it's just like ridiculous. And then, people in the family that do things, and then they try to act like, well, you did something to deserve it, so that's why I did what I did or whatever. And it's just like ridiculous. But with all of those situations, there have been good people that have kept me from completely burning out. I'm so thankful for my mom. I speak to my mom on the phone almost every day. And you may think I'm lying just because I'm saying it, because she is my mother. But my mom actually is one of the sweetest people in the world. I didn't really appreciate it many years ago, but we just didn't have like a close relationship, because I didn't grow up in a household or in a family, let alone where we would hug each other and say I love you and all of those different types of things. So as I grew up and got older, adolescent years, I wasn't used to having a close family. My mom and dad, they were married, still married, were married when I was a kid, grew up in a household with my mom and dad. But, he had his struggles with drugs that she tried to hide. And she hid it very well, because we really didn't know a whole lot of things. But she hid a lot because she loved us. And she just didn't want us to see a whole lot of things going on. But when things would happen in the household, looking back on it now, we know what it was. And that's okay, because even for many years I was angry with my dad because of the choices that he made. But looking back over it, it's the drug thing. When people get addicted to drugs, they're looking to get out of themselves because they just aren't happy with themselves, and also because of other things that may have happened in their life when they were younger. And I'm quite sure he saw a lot that I still don't really know about. And my mom just did the best that she can. So to this day, she completely supports me. She would give me the world if she could, financially, physically, all of those different things. But her prayers her love. That is one of the things that really has kept me going. And, having real friends, people that I don't talk to every day. We may not talk every 6 months or maybe even once a year sometimes. Well, I won't say we won't speak once a year, because we will reach out and say, hey, girl, or, hey, what's up, man? Like, I hope you're good. People that love you like family. So they're more than friends, they're like family. Because I have met some amazing people, even though social media is not my wheelhouse and it's not something that I really enjoy. I believe it's a necessary tool. I have some of the people that I have become friends with, we met through social media. So God kind of had to really remind me, because I have been dealing with social anxiety as well. Even being a business owner, someone that works close up with clients, have worked with thousands of women. And even me saying that to this day, it's crazy to say that, but yeah, I worked with thousands of women. But I was comfortable doing what I was doing as an esthetician. It was me being comfortable in that zone, not really being comfortable dealing with clients. But I was able to create a persona, not being fake, but kind of coming out of myself to be comfortable, to be able to have conversations and speak with people and be comfortable, but hoping most of them wouldn't really have a conversation with me, because I didn't really want to talk. I just want to do the service and then, see you next time. But I have some amazing clients that are, friends now, still respect me, still pay for their services, but would give me the world, if I needed it, and still supportive, still loyal, still coming to the business after all of these many years, still coming in regularly every 2 weeks or once a month, however often they're coming in for their services, whichever services they're getting done. And that has been a true blessing. So that has really helped to keep me out of a complete crash and burn from the burnout, as well as great team members. I have had people come and go. I've had a number of people come and go. Some have been like so flaky that they may have lasted a week, a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months. And then I've had a few that lasted several years. And the ones that lasted several years and decided to leave in a negative way, those are the ones that were meant to cause me to crumble and to feel like I was being destroyed because of what they tried to do to take my business and to steal from me and things like that. But God said, no, it's not going to work. They will be destroyed before I will allow anything to happen to you. So don't you quit. You pivot. You do things differently. I've got you. And that has really helped me to know that God, He's got me. And there's nothing that any person can do, nothing that any person can do or say to cause me to cause me to be out of here, to count me out. Because when God, I always say, God created my business. I am the owner of the business. I am legally responsible for everything. But God, He created my business. I've heard some people say that God is my CEO. God is more than my CEO, because you can fire a CEO. When you're the owner of the business, you can fire your CEO. It's an employee. God is not an employee. He actually created this. So I give Him all the credit and glory for all of it. And because of that, unless God said it's finished, it's not done. And so with all of that being said, I'm grateful for the team that I do have that works with me, want to be a part of a team, are, very supportive, want to work very hard, make themselves available, understanding, and that's all I ever want. I never treat anyone like they owe me anything, or you are my minions, you work for me, you are my puppets, you do as I say, you follow the leader. Like I've never called myself, even though technically I am a boss, I never say to them, I am your boss. I just feel that there's a certain connotation with that word. So I've always said, I'm the employer, We're a team. I work here as well as you. And we work together because ultimately it is about the people that we serve. It's not about me or them. And unfortunately, when you have people that feel like it's about them, then it never works. So God has a way of removing people from your space. He has a way of getting people out of your space, whether it is your business, your home, uh, if you're in a relationship that you shouldn't be in, and God's like, no, this ain't good for you. He's got a way. Sometimes people don't listen and they have the option and the choice to continue in something, and it's like, God's letting you know this isn't good for you, but you're like doubting and you're just trying to stay in it. So it's like, okay, well, I'll let you take the lumps and bruises, not saying physical abuse, but I'm just saying if you're going through stuff and you allow things to continue to happen when God is giving you signs that this isn't a good space for you, then you kind of have to take the repercussions of it. And in a way, I will never sit here and say that I'm a prophet. I definitely do have the spirit of prophetic where God will allow things to come to me and I see it and it's like, oh no, really? Like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to know that. I don't want things that are revealed to me or whatever. I recently had somebody that quit and it was for the best. It was really for the best. But I saw the person leaving in a dream before, a few days before it actually happened. So when I had the dream and I woke up, I was like, whoa. But I didn't feel any way about it. I didn't feel bad. I won't say I felt good, but I didn't feel bad about it. It was just like, it's probably time. And lo and behold, yeah, it was time. It was time for that person to go. Now, of course, they have to leave with some drama, so now I have to address some things, but it will be addressed. It will be handled. But I'm just doing it because I have to do what I have to do as a business owner. It's not because I'm threatened or I'm feeling, any type of way emotionally, because this is business. It's not about the emotions, even though I am a person. But that's the other thing too. I've told people this before as well. I may be the owner of this business, but I am a person. I have feelings. I have emotions. You may say or do something that may hurt me as well. I'm not a robot. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. None of us are. We all make mistakes or whatever, but nothing can be perfected if it is not addressed, right? And there's sometimes people won't address things, and the reason why they won't address things is because they create a narrative in their minds of what things are, when in actuality it really isn't that way. And sometimes people conjure up a story that they want to believe because they would rather believe the story that they conjure up than the truth. And we see that a lot all over the world. People will rather believe a lie than the truth. And I'm not even going to get into the context of that. If you got any sense, then you can kind of figure out what I mean by that. But yeah, people would rather believe a lie than the truth because the truth hurts. So people will conjure up a story in their own minds and believe that versus believing the truth or just addressing things that they may have questions about, or if they get, that's, something I've dealt with in this industry, working with all women, and people getting jealous of others. You bring new people on the team and then they start to feel jealous, or they feel threatened, or think that person has come to take something away from you, when in actuality, no, they didn't come to take anything away from you. They've come to serve the needs of the business because the demand is just there, and we want to be able to service the people when you're not available. Having somebody step in for this person while they were out because they had COVID, and then they come back in with an attitude and getting upset because someone else serviced their clients when they're not their clients, they're clients of the business. And if the people wanted to wait for this person to return to get their services done, we're all for it. But if they wanted to be seen and someone else was available to see them, then that's what we did. That's what we do. That's how we operate. That's how my business has always operated. Even if I'm not available, if somebody else can see the clients that I would normally see, unless they want to wait for me to come back, then that's the way it works. It's not about the service providers. It's about serving, and it's about serving the public. But dealing with, people having those feelings and walking on eggshells around people because they're making other people feel uncomfortable or whatever. It's like, no, I don't need that. I don't need the drama in my business. I'm just so far removed from that. One of the reasons why I would never be able to have a reality show, because you have to have the drama. I cannot. I can't deal with it at all. So the burnout, I believe, is coming to an end. I believe that my deliverance is here. The place that God is bringing me to, He's bringing me into it. He's bringing me into a place of peace. And I'm so here for it, because when I tell you, it's been war in my life pretty much since like mid 2018. It's been war. So wars on top of the pandemic and the closures and the just all of the different things, dealing with that as a business owner, as well as being a wife, to someone who's a veteran who served overseas for many years back and forth, and dealing with the traumas that my husband has experienced being in these places of war, and dealing with PTSD and just a number of different things that it's been heavy. It has been heavy. But I have asked God to take the weight and to take the burden. And the Bible says that we should do that, to cast all our cares on Him because He cares for us. But I admittedly hadn't been doing that a whole lot because I was so used to being strong that I felt like I needed to do that. I had to do that. But yeah, it's necessary to recognize where you are, take accountability, do what you need to do to get in a better headspace and to lift your spirit up and to grow from those low places. Because being in those low places and being in the valleys and being in the wilderness experiences is not meant to kill you. It's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to grow you. It's meant to build you up. And I heard someone say something recently, and it was so profound. It says sometimes God will put you, think of yourself as like a pie. Sometimes God will put you in that oven, and that heat is torturous, but you're going to come out. But you're not going to come out until those edges are ground perfectly, and that middle is completely done. But it's to perfect you. It's not to destroy you. So I've learned how to really lean on God even the more. I, again, speak for myself. I don't speak for anyone else, but I don't know how people are in the industry of business, especially in the beauty industry is extremely catty, but I know there's a lot of other industries that are. You can let me know some of those other industries in the comment section if you choose to. But just dealing with people in general, you are going to deal with a lot. So be prepared. If you haven't gone through it yet, be prepared, because when I tell you, things started for me around my 10-year mark. 2018 was my 10-year mark. I do believe in numbers. I won't say numerology, but God created numbers. Numbers have significant meanings. God allowed me to realize some things number-wise. I closed down one of my business locations recently. I'm still in the process of transitioning from that location, but when I was there waiting on the movers a couple of weeks ago to arrive, it was an early Sunday morning. I heard in my spirit that it was 8, and November represents 8 years ago that I started that location. And 8 represents new beginnings. It represents new beginnings with God. And I was like, wow, this is a new beginning. So I didn't feel any emotional sadness or anything like that with closing that location down. I had some staffing issues where it involved that location, and I worked there for a time period from last year up until July, servicing clients there, because I had someone that moved away from that location, that moved to another state, and that was in February. So that was right before the pandemic and the shutdowns happened in mid-March where I'm located. So working there, and then working in my other location, and then opening up another location, and not really knowing that that location was going to be the one that I was going to shutter and transition from. I've just been moving by God's spirit. That's all I can really say. I'm not all knowledgeable. I'm not one of these people that says that they have all of the answers and whatever. I don't. But I've learned a lot over the years, and a lot of the things that I've learned, they have been tremendous. And I'm just so excited for continuing this journey in spite of the hard times, the headaches, the heartaches. It's been for the best, and the best really is yet to come. So I'm not going to allow the burnout to stop me. I'm just recognizing what it is, what it was, and asking God to help me to get out of that place. And I do believe that I'm coming out of it, and just focusing more on the promises of God and on his goodness and on the good things that have happened in my life versus focusing on the negative things and the things that I don't like and the things that have, been made to make me feel hurt. But God is turning it around to make it be a help to me, because I love the scripture in the Bible where it says, God, like it was the story of Joseph and how his brothers sold him into slavery. They were jealous of him. They put him in a pit. Like, they were jealous of this dude. And God allowed Joseph to go through so much, but it made him into a leader, into a king. And when the famine happened in their land and they had to come to this place where Joseph was, they didn't even know that it was Joseph. And Joseph recognized them, and he did not retaliate. He said to them, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Like, God turned it around for his good. So if you trust and believe that all of the negative things that you've been going through in your life, God meant it for your good, and it's going to work out for your good. And those that tried to sell you out, those that tried to hurt you, those that tried to harm you in any way, shape, or form, they are going to see you again. And when they see you again, you're going to be so high up, they're going to have to look up, like literally look up, because they're going to be down there and you're going to be up there. You're rising. So I hope that helps someone. It's helped me, because like I said, I was going to go on my break. I'm sitting here, my tummy's growling. I was going to eat lunch because I was going to have a late lunch break, but I felt like I was led to just have this conversation with whoever is listening to it right now. So I hope you got something out of it, because I definitely did. It's helped to lift my spirits even more. I thought as I spoke, I was going to sit and shed a few tears, but God wouldn't allow it. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm good on the tears. God's made the way for me, and he's going to continue to do it. And he'll continue to do it for you too. So I'll be back with more content, but I just wanted to say, for those of you if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. If you are I don't like to say a follower, but if you're walking with me on my journey on social media, I appreciate you being here with me. I've been praying and trying to ask God to help me to get out of this space of the social anxiety so I could be a little bit more social and not just post and ghost like I've done in the past. If I do post, then I'm like out of there. I'm posting and I'm ghosting. I'm not looking to see if anybody liked it, if anyone commented. But I realize that I can't live that way. God has been too good to me and has been good for me to just sit in a space of hiding and not using the gifts and the anointing that he has given me. So I'm just praying with each and every given day that I'm here, that God will allow me to walk in that vein. So again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I am the Minister of Beauty, and I'm here to share the Bible, that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next time, I hope you all really do have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day. And as I record this, it is a couple of days before Thanksgiving. So if you are watching it before Thanksgiving, I hope that you are thankful and that you have an amazing Thanksgiving, and be safe.